Well, welcome to my podcast, Move
Yeah,
Forward Boldly. We are always excited to have new people we haven't heard this, and we have never talked about Melaleuca before.
that's right.
So today, audience, I'm going to tell you we are speaking with Mr. Forrest Bivens, and he is a Melaleuca. Would you call yourself a distributor, or what would you call
No,
yourself?
we call ourselves marketing executives because we actually can't touch a product as
Wow.
far as selling it. We don't, there's no retail with Melaleuca.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. So even if someone, people have this thing about pyramids and MLMs. This is not, is this that type of description? I know most people don't even know what a pyramid is, but they just say, "Oh my
I know,
God,
I
is
know,
it
I know, I
the
know.
Amway
Yeah, yeah.
thing?"
It's
What?
funny. I had this conversation just this morning with someone, and he had heard the name, but he didn't know, anything about the company. So the first thing I told him, well, when you go and Google it, you're going to find varying opinions of it being network marketing, MLM, whatever you want to call it. Now, here's my personal opinion based on research, but there are lots of network marketing companies. They're not all MLMs because MLM means
Correct.
multiple levels of distribution.
Right.
So as I just said a minute ago, there's no retail side of Melaleuca. So there's no, I'm not buying products. I mean, I am in a hierarchy, just like any kind of structure, but I'm not able to take a product and then turn around and resell it to anybody. If
Right.
I did that and Melaleuca find out about it, they shut my account down.
All right. So when you say just like any other hierarchy, it's just like with AT&T, the CEO doesn't make the same amount of money as the janitor or a
True
salesman,
that, true
right?
that. And you
And
know
the
what?
CEO doesn't really, he sells because that's the business. You if you're not selling, you're not in business. But he's not actually giving people sending people products because that's not his part of the job. And so by you
Yeah,
say
yeah.
marketing, you are setting up or sharing the opportunities for other people to see and view the product. Is that a good way to
Yeah,
describe it?
yeah, yeah. If I, you could use the analogy of if I was selling a Costco membership, I can
Okay.
sell you the membership, but I'm not going to hard close you on the trash bags.
Okay. Yeah.
I could care less what you buy, to be honest. You buy the
Right.
membership, and I know that Melaleuca will send me a referral check, right?
Right. I hear
Um,
you.
and what I like about that is I saw a system where it wasn't just one person winning or a handful of people winning. I saw a system at Melaleuca, but specifically on my team, where so many people were winning. I've come to the conclusion that Melaleuca was built for the little guy, not the big guy.
Wow, that's good to hear.
Yeah,
Because most companies, right now, that's what we're seeing too. They're getting rid of unions and things, or not having unions at all, and really just paying the shareholders. And that's what
yeah,
it's
yeah,
nice if you own stock, but if you don't, you lose.
yeah. You know what? I've also found, Carolyn, that it's not a quick decision. I don't think with Melaleuca for people to come on board. For the shopping, it's easy. The shopping,
Okay.
I kid you not. And so there's two sides. This is a good time to
Okay.
bring it up. There's two sides of the business.
Right.
You can participate in the side where 80, last stat I saw a few days ago was 81% of the people, almost 2 million people who are on the rosters at Melaleuca, 81%, they just buy the products. They just go straight to Melaleuca with the membership that somebody introduced them to, and
Okay.
they go shopping online and the stuff comes to them. That person that referred them will get a slipstream, a percentage, but it has nothing to do with them moving products. So that's the one side. On the flip side, if you want to take advantage of referring people here in whatever way, shape, or form you want, whether it's big or small, there's that too. So that's the other side. Only 19% people on the books even
Wow.
refer one person here.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're talking, when I say refer, your whole life, one to infinity, so we're taking at 19% includes people who really aren't building the business. They just maybe referred their mother.
Right. Okay. And who doesn't refer whatever products they use to somebody else? Everybody does. You know what I mean?
Essentially, yeah. The only difference is if I referred my mom, and she, wanted to go ahead and start shopping here, they would send me a check.
Okay. Yeah, but AT&T won't do that. So yeah. Okay. I see the difference. It's a modern difference. So why, of all the companies that are out there, were you looking for when you started out this, you were looking for something. You were looking for extra income. You were looking for college. You were looking for retirement. You were looking for, oh, you mentioned like a safety net, just in case, if,
Yeah.
as we all have been through from time to time, if you work any bit of time, the job just disappears. So you just want that safety net. So out of all the companies out there and all the different ways of making money, why Melaleuca?
I think to really answer that, I'd have to give you the Coles notes of my story. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So we're going to go back to, so I live in Canada now, but I lived here for 20 years, but I'm from the States. And when I lived in Seattle before I moved here, I had a very, very profitable business in the wireless industry. I was there from its inception and it just blew up. And so my mentor at the time said, okay, that's going well. You should find yourself another income. So I went out into the world and I looked at, guess what, MLM. Because somebody introduced it to me, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I became an Amway distributor.
Okay.
Lo and behold, my, well, now ex-wife at the time, my wife, and ex-wife now, we actually did pretty good. We had a 5-year run there and we did really well by MLM standards. But what we got tired of was the fact that although we were doing good, we couldn't duplicate that. We couldn't help other people do well. And it's inherent, the weaknesses were inherent in the system. Now, I'm not calling out Amway. I'm calling out, I will generally call out most multi-level marketing companies because although they have great products, they also make you pay a king's ransom for it, 2 and 3 times their worth. And that's not sustainable. So that's why I left that business.
Got it. Okay.
Fast forward, that was in 96 when we left it. So fast forward to 2018, 19, I had been looking for nothing. I was busy licking my own wounds because in 2007, at the age of 2009, rather, the age of 49, I had a colossal business failure, traditional business. I won't go into the details. There was some fraud involved with a partner, but it left me with a $700,000 hole.
Yeah.
And I was on the Freedom 55 train. I was like, I'm gonna be done at 55, damn it. Well,
time to learn a lesson. Yeah, right.
Humble. It was
The
a bit of
universe.
humility involved there.
Yep,
I'll be the first to say I take my lickings. But so I spent the last 10 years or so, paying that off.
Right.
And I couldn't bring myself to declare bankruptcy. I came close a couple times, but I couldn't do it.
Okay.
But it left me with a serious hole at 59, 60 years old.
Right.
So when I went back looking at network marketing, I'm like, I got to find something that people can afford,
right,
which will set up sustainability and set up true repeat income. Because the model's great, but when I charge you, if I charged you $85 for this mouse, you're not going to buy it. It's worth 15.
Yeah, I was going to say 10. Yeah.
10. Yeah. And that's what Melaleuca would charge you for at 10.
Right.
But an MLM would charge you 85, 90 bucks for it.
Right. Because it's
what?
The structure. Yeah.
Those 81% of people don't give a rat's about whether or not me, the business owner, is making money or not. They just want their product. And they want their product cheaper. Exactly. So now Melaleuca's, with inflation especially, Melaleuca's always had great middle of the road products, pricing, great products, middle of the road pricing. I would say now more than ever, they're standing out because those middle of the road products have not had a price increase.
Oh, okay.
So with inflation, as everyone's feeling right now, this conversation has now become one of beating the stores.
Okay.
For the shoppers anyway.
Okay. So I see it much more clearly now. I do see it like Costco, except it's Costco with a subscription, right? You don't have to run to Costco you have to run to Costco to get what you want. You can buy some things online. But with Melaleuca, you buy your things online and they kind of come on a regular basis without you having to manually put it in, but you can.
No, you do. You have to.
You have to manually do it?
Here's another thing. There's no auto ships.
No auto ships.
No, once again, and that's an MLM feature too.
Yes, it is.
It's just all they're thinking about is keeping you on the line, on the repeat, payment, plan.
Right.
Melaleuca says, hey, look, Melaleuca says, are you buying this lotion somewhere else?
That's a good lotion, by the way. I've used it. I
Okay,
do use it.
exactly. Are you
Yes.
buying this lotion somewhere else? Okay, great. If you buy it from us and you do it regularly, we're going to give you something back. So what they do is they give customers back a boatload of what we call loyalty dollars, which drives the price down even more.
Right.
Like, I'll give you an idea. In over three and a half years of shopping here, I've earned free products. Just so I'm a customer.
Customer, yeah.
I'm
So
a customer first and foremost.
right, right.
And as a smart, savvy shopper, to save on my groceries over 3 years, yeah, sign me up for that.
Oh yeah.
And I bet if I said that these days to anyone else, you sign me, you want a grocery savings, let's have a conversation. And then people are like, yeah, how do I do that? Because right now they're costing us an extra $800-900.
Right. It's going up fiercely. It's
Fiercely, yeah.
You turn around and the chicken that was $1.99 last week is $10.99 this week. How?
But you know what really has me the most excited, Carolyn,
What's that?
is that I get to show somebody a pathway for sustainable repeat monthly income. Because when people shop here every month, they're cutting you a check. And so it's up to you as to how many people you want shopping here. So I like that, because most people, I've discovered one thing else too about people that come into the network marketing realm. Most of them, the overwhelming majority of them, seem to only want to, if they'd be happy if they make $500 to $1,000 a month to take the pressure off of their budgets.
Right.
I mean, I've been building this now, literally seriously building this. I've been shopping here for 3 years, but seriously building this now for about 6 months. I passed $500 back in month 4, and it's on a regular income monthly basis, so I'll know what happens in for this month, about the second week of September, when we get our business reports.
Right.
But I expect that to have gone up about $100-150 from the
And this is
month.
just from like using the, like you said, you use the products for years. So this is just like using the products and then say, you know what, I'm going to share this idea with my friends. You should.
There's a lot
you
of
should
people
use this
that will,
because this is like
is.
that lotion you showed me. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a good product. I know that one. Yeah.
And that's kind of the way I learned. One of the secrets I learned was just tell people about what you use, what you personally, because now I'm not selling it to them, I'm giving them a recommendation.
Right. Exactly.
It's a bit of a subtle science and art there, but it's not difficult.
It's a sell. I mean, it's not a hard sell, but it's just an acknowledgement that you have a product and that it works well. You should try it. And if they try it, they like it. There's some other products that this company has too. And guess what? It's stuff that you already use, whether it's cleaning or your personal body or whatever. It's stuff you're going to use anyway. You might as well just try it. If it works for you, fine. If not, then
if it's not, then you know what? You call them up. This is what I love about networking. You call them up.
Okay.
Within 90 days of buying any product. I don't care if it's the 20th time you bought this product.
Okay.
And the bottle's empty. Call them up. I didn't like it. Would you like that credited to your account or to your credit card?
Oh, wow.
That's 90 days.
90 days.
Unconditional, no money, no questions asked. The only questions they ask is, can you give us some feedback what you'd like for our product research?
Right.
And that's the one question that they always ask, and that's it.
Yeah. And they have to ask that to know if it's something that they really need to consider getting another product to replace it.
Right. I tested that early on with I forget what the heck it was that I bought. I didn't like it that much, so I said, let's just see what happens. Sure enough, they gave me my money back. I didn't return the product. I didn't ask for it back because they said, what are we going to do with an open whatever it was?
Yeah.
An open consumable. What am I going to do with the old bottle of lotion? Resell it? No.
Who's going to buy that?
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, that's pretty good. So you said in 6 months, you can see a regular profit coming in, and it's not like you're spending dozens of, hundreds and thousands of dollars on marketing either, right?
I do word of mouth marketing. I have conversations with people on Zoom, probably 2 to 3 a day on an average day.
Yeah.
And we have conversations where we meet and greet. And as you know, in the course of conversations, things uncover. People always ask you what you do, and that's my chance to tell them with passion what I like about where I shop. And if they lean in, maybe I got something more to talk about. If they don't, let's talk about what you're doing.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. I can vouch for that. That's kind of like your conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So
It is.
so it's the consistency of just talking to people that you meet, that you come in contact with, and being consistent about the message, right?
Now we're talking. Now we're turning another page, if we're going to talk about consistency. That's a, ooh, that's a tough one.
Okay, so that's kind of big. Okay, all right, but
Big one.
yeah, but it's still, well, I'll put a different word that's similar. You're persistent about it too, because every week, every day, it's
Yeah.
all different. Anybody who has any kind of business, they know that. I mean, you just, if you want to have a specific uh, income, you get a job and you get a paycheck, right? You
Right.
get
Right.
paid
Right.
by the hour, right? Or go
Mhm,
for bonuses and things like that.
mhm, mhm.
But anybody in any business, they understand the ups and downs. It's just,
Right.
it can be
Right.
seasonal, it can be whatever is happening in the week. News stories can change your bottom line at
Hell,
any
moods.
given time, right?
Moods.
Moods, there you go. There you go. People's emotions can ruin or make or break your
Ooh,
business.
wee, they sure can.
And you just understand it. And I think that's one of the hardest things for people who have been well, I don't want to say, well, who have had a life where they always knew that they were having that paycheck coming in. And that's a real thing of stability. But at the same time, um, you kind of lose your independence a little bit. I'm not saying the job really controls you, but if you're kind of pushing the agenda of the person you work for, if it's your
Mhm,
own
mhm.
thing, and Melaleuca can be different for you in that, because you can
Yeah.
do that wherever you're going.
Yeah.
You have your goals that you want to attain. It's just that's how many new faces and new people you have to introduce to the product, or
You're
to
right.
the concept, to the
No,
to
no,
the
you're right. You're
business.
right. You're totally right. And to the product to a certain extent. I mean, I met a lady. Here's a good example of introducing a product. Well, that lotion actually.
Right.
So I was at a, where was I at? I forget what grocery store I was at, but standing in line, and this woman was talking to her little girl, and the little girl was scratching, and she said, "Stop scratching that. You know what the doctor said?" And it looked like it was what do you call it? Eczema,
Okay.
right? So I just, at first I thought, oh, here's your opportunity. You should say something. You say something. But then you had a little
Yeah.
voice. What are you gonna think? What are you gonna think?
Right.
But I watched the kid scratch again. I said, no, you know what? I'm thinking about myself.
Right.
So I introduced myself and I said, hey, and I asked her to confirm if what I saw was psoriasis.
That
Of
eczema.
course, you can imagine her. She's like, yeah, why, you ask? And I said, I saw that. And I said, the only reason I ask is because I work with a bunch of people that have psoriasis and I see them using, happen to be
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I had a travel size one in my in a bag in the car. So to cut the story short, we wrapped up our business inside. We continued talking. I walked outside. I gave it to her, and with my phone number, I said, "Just tell me if it makes any difference on her arm.
Right.
I'm just curious because
Right.
I never had an opportunity to
To
for my
test
own
it.
personal test it."
Right.
She called me back in about 5 days. And she's like, I need more. Where can I get a gallon of it? Blah, 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 blah,
Ah.
blah. So long story, I know. So she just became a customer last week.
Wow.
She bought like 3 of these. I said,
Yeah.
they're still making more, they're not
Yeah.
gonna run
Yeah. You don't
out.
have to get them all at once. She wants to make sure she does not run out. Yes.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
it's not only for baby girl, it's for everybody else in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
house
yeah,
now
yeah, yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? She's like, well, if this is so good, what else do they have that works so well? I said, well,
There you go.
funny you should ask. So I took her on a little shopping tour, of the website, and she rolled and put a pretty good size order. What she did, I happened to catch her at the time where she was going out, to do her monthly big shopping. And
Okay.
so she did a chunk of that with us.
Yeah.
She's like,
Okay.
I'll be back next month. I'm like, good.
Okay. Okay. But that just makes me feel so good, because you saw a need in this, and otherwise you would have just seen the woman go, oh, that poor little kid, and went on about your business, and the kid's like years going by still scratching at that little, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah. And
it's
it
really
was
nice
that
that you had something for it.
it was that, but it was the thing about what really I liked about that. I like that part too, but I like the part really where I saw immediately, like, wait, I'm thinking about myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, but what will she think?
Right. 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 Right.
Well, she thought something at first, but that
Right.
didn't last long, and she
Right.
was appreciative. So there you go. And I made a friend.
Right. Right. A friend, a customer, and
Yeah,
somebody you built comfort for them, and that's
yeah. I
that's a
mean,
lot.
at the end of
People are
the
going through
day,
so
that
much
was
right now. All the little things that you can do to make their lives easier, just tiny things, and that was just a mild suggestion. Man, it's heartwarming. I'm just telling you. You if you don't see it that way, that's okay. But to me, that's like a happily ever after
No,
story.
it was all of that. I mean, I, I was thinking about myself right there and
Mhm.
what I, in the
Yeah,
moment overcame. But yeah, there was all of that. There was the, I'm glad I was able to help someone.
right.
It was, I was glad I was able to, show her not just a place to shop there, because she also said in our conversation, she has a son that has asthma. And
Mm.
she's been thinking for a while that her cleaning products, the off gassing, might be triggering it.
Hmm.
So we're about to find out.
Yes, yes, yes. As a matter of fact, the person that introduced me to Melaleuca, she had a small puppy, or what is it? He wasn't a puppy, but he was a small dog, a toy dog who acquired cancer. And she's like, how? Like, I feed him so good, and it really just, when your pet dies, that's a big deal. And so that was one of the reasons why she said, well, maybe it is my cleaning products, because he's right down there with that's where they are. And so she doesn't have a new doggy yet, but she's really, that was her thing, her big thing in life that made
Yeah.
her change to Melaleuca. And it is funny. It's always something has to happen for you to make a change in your regular routine. Either the stores go out of business, you can't find it anymore, or somebody introduces you to a product that really does work better. Like I had somebody today trying to change my cell phone line. I'm like, it's working. I'm not going to mess with it. And
Yeah.
what they're trying to give me might be better, but it's a hassle trying to get back if it's not, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So those are
Yeah.
the things that people think about. But it's always good to hear good product reviews uh, from any type of product. And then you know that the money is actually being spread amongst the community, not necessarily
Yeah.
going to people who don't need money, or you would think, or have enough money, or or they do, but it's actually going to help other communities. And don't they have what is a charity that they also promote, or
Oh
they
my gosh. Yeah. They have
a
this
lot,
big
right?
one called the Melaleuca Foundation, which is
Right,
active in a bunch of areas.
right.
I know they have a lot to do with education in third world, in some what we call third world countries. But what I like with it's what they do here in North America. They have a real nasty habit of showing up whenever there's a natural disaster with truckloads of supplies. They just have this
Beautiful.
real nasty habit of doing that, man. I mean, it's just, and they hate, and this, I mean, I'm being facetious, but one thing I realized about Melaleuca is they hate the publicity. They're a very modest company. They just want to show up, give the people their stuff, and kind of get out of town. But it always hits the news, and but I've seen too many of those, or I should say, I've seen enough of those news stories over the years, just my 3+ years, to know that this is something that's built into the culture there, and I like that.
Okay, all right. And they also, as a matter of fact, the other product that I like, their soap, their clothes stuff. It smells really
Oh, the
good.
Mellow
It's very
Power stuff.
powerful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just going through my mind of all the things I have in my cabinets,
The other
that
problem with it though is that so many people have with the laundry detergent. It's so concentrated. No
yeah,
one believes that that little
yeah,
tablespoon is going to clean their clothes.
yeah. My husband does it, and so that's why I ran out.
Exactly. People just like, oh no, put in more, 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 and
Exactly.
it doesn't overly suds,
No,
so you wouldn't know that's the wrong way to do
no.
it. It just when the bottle's empty, it's like 96 loads.
Yeah. This was 25. Oh my God. I thought about like pouring little plastic baggies for him. So,
Yeah,
but he
yeah,
would just
yeah.
use up all the baggies because in his mind, it's just can't be. It's just not enough. So I think there's a lot of people that actually think that way.
One of my customers had that issue with her teens. And so I said, hey, I made a video for her, a little 30-second video. And it was just me taping a tablespoon, a cheap dollar store tablespoon to the bottle of Mellow Power. She said that did the trick. Because they didn't
Oh, okay.
believe that the measuring cap was right, but the one tablespoon made it sort of like a novelty.
Yeah. Right.
And it was enough to break the habit of,
Yeah. Just dumping it in.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And it
Anyway,
smells so good. It is good stuff. Yeah. Melaleuca does have good products.
they do.
Yeah.
They good
Yeah.
stuff. Anyway,
They have changed a lot over the years. I think I had a friend back in the 90s who was
oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that's when I was first introduced, and then I lost contact with that friend, and I ran out of the supplies. And then it's not until fast forward 2020 that I hear about it again. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, this
Yeah.
is this is new, but I mean, it's different because, of course, then there was no website in the 19.
Yeah, they went from 85. I mean, there wasn't a website and no internet in 85 when they
Right.
opened doors. So they were all, I can imagine how they did it back then, catalogs and faxing.
Yeah, like they did Avon books, and I used to be an Avon girl.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did all that little stuff, just because it was a good way to meet people and share experiences. And you do make some nice friends. You have some nice relationships of people who are all around the world. And it's just a good opportunity. And now you have friends all around the world, and you never have to leave your house to visit them. This is a remarkable,
That's one way to look at it. Yeah.
yeah, this is a remarkable time. We have so much opportunity. I mean, and it's right here at our fingertips. So I'm hoping, and I know it should be, that more and more people take the opportunity to do it. And I think it's going to happen because boomers may or may not be interested in those things because they don't trust, and it's not something that they've done before. But their grandchildren, this is what's normal for them. And
Yeah.
I won't even say their children. I'm just going to skip. they're
We know their children, it's normal for them too, probably.
Yeah, but the grandchildren, this is all they've known, and who knows whatever they're gonna really get into. So it's just this whole time for me is the shifting of the economy from the big businesses to the mom and pops, for everybody having some say in the economy, in their own personal economy. We can't rely on the big companies to keep us employed anymore. And now when I look at it, it's almost like they've created a crutch for us. Like we
Mhm.
can't we can't even imagine cutting our own hair. We can't even imagine canning our own food. We can't imagine making our own clothes. We don't have those. So I mean, these used to be the steady things that were in school. And my mother taught me how to sew, but I didn't keep it up. I have two sisters that still do it, and they garden, they grow their own food. It's a lot of work for me. But
Yeah. Yeah.
that's just telling you. I mean, but now I see all these people, much younger than me. It's coming back. They're
It
doing
is,
these
and
things with
it
themselves.
is. And I think it's coming back. I'm glad you brought that up because I think it's coming back in sort of a hybrid fashion
Yeah,
too. I mean, with all the technology that we have, I
right,
mean, yeah, we're going back to some of the old analog ways, but with a little bit of that technological know-how and knowledge, and to just make things a little bit easier, still
right,
have the organic, natural side of it,
right.
and I guess I wasn't, I didn't mean to allude to Melaleuca, but the fact that they take science and they science the heck out of nature to make nature work for us. I find that to be just incredibly fascinating.
Yeah, I can give you an idea. Maybe it's not Melaleuca, but I saw vertical farming yesterday. I don't know if you saw it on Channel 2, the Sunday thing that they do, vertical
No,
farming.
no.
And they had like a plant wall, like a wall in your house could just be with plants because they don't need the soil.
Mm,
They have uh, life that lives in this fabric. And when I say life, I mean like microbes and moisture that so it keeps the cycle ongoing, right? So, and life creates plants. Life is for us. Life builds life, and so
that's
this is
fascinating.
so it's a living wall. And but that's a little bit different from the vertical farming. The vertical farming is actually using the same type of cloth or microbial cloth, moisturized, and having a seed germinate that could be not a lemon tree, but maybe a head of lettuce,
Hmm.
or even radishes or strawberries, stuff that grows under and that
Right,
have the greens at the top.
right.
And I was just watching this and fascinating. And the idea of this is to put it into urban centers. We have the dryness or the desert, the
Food
food
deserts.
desert, the food
Yeah,
deserts in the urban centers. And so this is an ideal way to bring fresh vegetables
yeah.
to a lot of the urban areas. And so that's the idea behind this. And this is just what you're saying. It's like getting back to the organic, natural way, but in a technical way. you know, and that definitely meets the idea.
That's a great analogy. I mean, that's a great story. I wish I'd seen that. Vertical farming. I'm gonna have to Google it now.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was. See, I my thing is, I want to get into hydro farming, yeah, with
Hydroponics. Yeah.
hydroponics indoors. I don't want to have to go outdoors, or I mean, not have to. I do like going outdoors, but you know, the weather it kind of like limits you. I would prefer to have like a room just for my own little garden.
We're
That's
actually thinking
my
of doing the
preference.
same thing in our basement,
Right.
putting up a greenhouse
Yeah.
in our basement and going year round with it. I know it's gonna, it's gonna cost a little bit on the power for the lighting, but you know what? I'm gonna spend that money in the grocery store.
The money that you're saving for Melaleuca or you're making for Melaleuca, there you go.
Whatever, yeah. But it's just the fact that we can do it. I like that. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, then you really know what you're eating, and
yeah,
that's key. I mean, as a
that is
health coach,
key.
I'm seeing a lot of people who don't even know what real food is. I mean, how can you be 50 years old and not understand that you don't drink Diet Pepsi because you're thirsty? You know, you know, those are basics, but people they don't
But you're
know.
right. We take it for granted because we know
Right.
the basics that, okay, sugar, I mean, like, just because it say sugar in it doesn't mean it's good for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But you're right. There's so many people out there. I think most people are just confused. It's too much
Yes.
info.
Right. And the labels change on the food, and you kind of get caught. But
Yeah.
you know, there's just so much to be grateful for at this time, and just to see it shift. I don't know if my parents felt this way when they were my age, but I just feel like we have done so much in so little time. From the time the internet was created to today, it's eons. I mean, we have cars that are about to be electric and not gas, and drive by themselves, and eventually ride over the roads. That's what I want to see. So I know I
Yeah.
gotta
I hope
I
we're
gotta stay
around for
around
that.
another 50 years, I think, maybe, but that's okay. If I have to, I will.
What are your thoughts on the high on electric cars? Just curious.
Right now,
Yeah.
no, because I'm still thinking that they catch on fire.
Oh, okay. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because they have caught on fire. They have.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, even those what were those electric bikes?
Yeah.
They're catching on fire. They still haven't figured out. They have they say when you use the battery that is not recommended, the aftermarket batteries, they're the ones
Oh, okay.
that are
Okay.
starting the fires. And you know, this kind of reminds me of a funny story. It was not, well, my mother's grandfather died when he was 107 years old.
Ooh.
He's born in the United States in 1849, and that's before
Ooh.
the Emancipation Proclamation, right?
Born into slavery.
Right, born into slavery. So when he died in what was it, 50 something?
Mhm.
Yeah, my brother got to meet him. I didn't get to meet him. But anyway, he never had electricity in his house, and he never would put a toilet in his house. He said electricity starts fires. Still to this day, he's right, right?
You can't argue.
Right. Every Christmas, yeah, you know, towns burned down. And about toilets in the house, why would you want that in there? It stinks. You know, why would you put that in the house? You know, because he lived in a warm climate and he wanted it to be far back. So when he passed
Yeah,
away, those were the two things that they put in the house that
that's
he went.
funny.
But you know, there is for people to be resistant to technology, it's nothing new. I guess that's my
Yeah.
point. But eventually it does happen, and we tend to see the good in it more than the bad, and can't imagine not having these things. Like right now, people buy houses because of the bathrooms,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That's one of
no
the most
doubt.
expensive uh, I want to say contracted or modified rooms in the house, right? When you
Right.
go to do that, everybody wants the bathroom a certain way. Yeah. And
That's
so
true.
I think if he were around today, he'd be just still shaking his head. I just don't get it.
Why is there bathrooms in everybody's house?
Yeah, and more than one.
People
Yes.
are nasty.
Yeah, that's a nasty thing. Why would you want that? But you know, his concept about what a bathroom would look like is different. I'm
Yeah.
sure. So I think if he saw it today, it would
For
make
him,
a
the
whole lot more
bathroom was
sense
a
to him.
hole in the ground.
Right, right.
And
Yeah,
it stunk.
yeah, yeah. So you know, I think with imagination, and even with these, so your question about electric cars, I can see it really happening. And because whenever there's a saying there too, whenever the problem is created, the solution is created at the same time. You just have to raise your level of awareness so that you can see it and you can be it. But the same level of thinking is not going to get to the solution.
True.
So
True.
yes, we are going to get through this thing with the fires because they know. It's just that they haven't gotten the ones off the market that are causing the fires, and people don't really know that they have those ones.
Oh,
So yeah,
oh,
so that's part of it. So once they're able to, and who knows if they're still coming into the market, which they very well may be. But it is a problem that is fixable. That's going to repair itself over time.
it sounds
Hopefully.
like it's something easy to fix. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't have cell phones.
Oh
They'd
yeah.
be burning the sides of our heads, right?
Right. And look how they've changed over the years, right?
When I got into cell phone industry in 1986, they were in Samsonite briefcases, hard side, where you clamshelled it open, pulled up a telescopic antenna.
Oh wow.
Like, whoa.
I had
Yeah.
a car phone that I plugged into my cigarette lighter, and it was in a case.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yeah. So I mean, the fact that they made them this small is what
yeah,
eventually drove me out of the business because there was no more money in it.
yeah, yeah. That's what happens, right? As
Yeah.
businesses change. But Melaleuca will be around for a while. You know why? Because they have too many products, too many good products, and they have too many people who need their products, and too many people who see a future in earning that income for themselves
You
and
know
building
what?
it
You're right
long
about
life.
the products. It's a product. It is a product-driven business. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not selling the product, blah, blah, blah. But if it weren't for the good products, I wouldn't even
Nothing
be
would, yeah,
talking about it. But yeah, they're going to be around for a long time, as long as people are brushing their teeth and washing their clothes. There's going to be people out there increasingly that want to do it in a chemical-free fashion. So,
yeah, yeah. Safe chemicals. Yes,
mhm.
that's the thing we need. All right, Forrest, thank you so much. I hope we
Yeah.
touched on everything. If you have something else that you'd like to add, I'd love to hear.
No, I mean, this has been such a far-ranging, sweeping conversation. We started Melaleuca, went to electric cars and grandpa's outhouse. I don't know what else, but
That's me. I think the last time I was talking to you, we were talking about thumbs. I just, whatever hits my
that's right,
mind is going on
opposable
today.
thumbs. And I don't know what the heck we were talking about them because it
Yeah,
doesn't seem like
yeah.
anything that could carry a
Oh, because I
conversation.
was saying I'm all thumbs today, and then I thought about how magnificent thumbs
Oh,
really are. Yeah, and I'm like,
right.
oh,
Well,
see,
this has been fun. Thank you.
even when I'm nothing, I'm doing good. So that's just the way it works for me. So what I'm just off a little bit off the topic, and we can be done with that. But I just want to
Yeah.
ask you, what are your goals for your business? Do you have any set thing that you'd
Oh,
like to
yeah.
do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will finish up next year based on the current projections of where I'm going right now, the speed I'm at right now, and the fact that even if I don't pick up any pace, I can see where I'm going to be. So I make my projection very conservatively. So
Right.
next year, personally, I will be at somewhere between 60 to 80K US.
Mm-hmm.
But enough about me. What that means is I will have helped at least 2 or 3 people earn close to that. And that's really I mean, yeah, I can't sleep at night when I think about that.
Yeah, that's better than each one teach one. That's
Yeah.
really teaching them to fish, right?
Those 3 horses are in the barn. There's room for more, but
Yeah.
I know they're developing at this pace they're developing at. Yeah, I got some good running mates. So my goal is to be there next year, but I'd say by the end of the following year, I'll be in a position where I'll walk away from my job. I have a good job.
Oh,
I work full time.
I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you.
So, but I know that I can't walk away from it. I have to replace it.
Yeah, you have a realistic plan set up.
Yeah. I mean, I won't leave until it's dollar for dollar match.
So if you could get to that place faster, would you? I mean, not that you. I mean, that's you said it the way that is comfortable. But if it could all happen faster for you, would you be interested in that?
Well, of course, who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Yeah, yeah.
We should have
Well,
another conversation.
that is.
I sense another conversation
Well, yeah. If you
lining
have
up.
time, I can give you a conversation. If you want to do it another time, we can do that too.
Let's do
Either
another
way.
time because I got another call coming up in a bit.
All right, that's
Yeah.
good to know. So, yeah,
But
we'll be
I
in
like where
touch.
you're
If
going with that.
you want to talk, what, maybe Friday next week, same time, or
Maybe
what?
next week, same time. Actually, wait a minute.
Okay.
Maybe Tuesday because my next week is next Monday is Labor Day.
Oh, I forgot. Yes, that's right. It's
Yeah,
a
I did
3-day
too
weekend.
almost. So Tuesday would be 4 o'clock Tuesday.
All right, I'm saying yes, and I haven't even looked. Just a minute.
Let me just double check that real quick, because I'm on the wrong week. Okay. 4 o'clock, Tuesday the 6th. Got it. I'm putting it in there right now.
Tuesday the 6th.
Carolyn. $4. Here we go. Got it.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. Yeah, you can send me your, well, whoever gets to it first, we can send one another Zoom links.
No problem. No
Or we
problem.
can just use the same one we have here. I
Yeah,
guess.
I'll just change. Yeah, I'll just change
Okay, fair enough, fair
the
enough.
date, and it'll
Cool.
pop up for you. All right.
All right.
Great talking to you, and I will send you this as soon. I'll send you the link probably later today because
Okay, no rush whatsoever.
And
Yeah,
then
I
I'll send you my
appreciate that.
finished product too, the version.
Okay,
All right.
I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you.
All right. Great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, pleasure meeting you, man. Pleasure talking to you. Love
Likewise.
it.
Have a good evening, Carolyn.
You too.
Bye.